Hey guys, so I've had a lot of questions about lace, and it's kind of something that I'm known to work with as a designer. So I just want to kind of go over a couple things, techniques, tools, all that kind of stuff. So I've got free scissors that I like here, and doing such fine work and like on such a small scale, I mean you can see here's a ruler next to it here. I like working with smaller scissors. So these are just like traditional kind of office scissors, I guess. There is, as you can see, like a quote-unquote child-safe point, which is kind of nice because sometimes when you're doing such fine detailed work you don't want to cut where you're not intending to, or poke through the mesh or what have you. So, and it is kind of nice that these have a little bit of a quote-unquote comfort grip. But yeah, that's really all the length I have to cut with, so we're doing really small scale work here. Here's another favorite of mine. These are more traditional, like embroidery scissors. It's nice because you can use that little screw right there. You can tighten it if the scissors start to become too wobbly. And also the point on there, you can get some really fine detail cutting going on there. Not quite as comfortable long term because like there's nothing there and it's just, you know, a lot of up and down on the metal, but you know, it is what it is. This is kind of my daily driver for my lace cutting. And then last but not least, I have one more. I think this is actually like a makeup scissors for like eyelashes and things like that, eyebrows, eyelashes meaning fake ones. It's got a little bit of a curve to it, as you can see, which I like because you're kind of carving away the mesh, and it's a little less scary than just like cutting straight. It's better for like a learning tool, but you know, very small cutting area. So this is really good for super fine detailed things. Again, not as comfy, but what I've really learned has helped me with the kind of wear and tear that goes onto your hand is I bought one of these, I guess they're kind of called gloves, sleeves, if you will. That's supposed to help, and when you wear it, it keeps your wrist a little bit more straight, so you're not doing this with your wrist, you're kind of just like trying to cut more straight versus at all these weird angles. So it's supposed to just help keep your wrist from getting tired. So anyway, that's kind of what I use for day in, day out. And as you can see, these are some pictures or samples of some finished lace as far as what's been cut out. So I like to go in, and you can see I've cut a good amount of lace away in here, or the mesh, excuse me, and then if you still see there's like some right there, that would really bug me because I am a perfectionist. So another tool that I use for going in, if it's kind of too small to like cut, you can go in and use a lighter, because this is all going to be polyester as far as the mesh goes, and then, you know, you just light it and just ever so gently melt away the edge there, and that will give you a cleaner edge. So this is kind of like a motif that I've cut out. There's little bits and bobs here and there as far as other things in the pattern. My bride that I'm working with right now really loved this. She said it was kind of like almost thistle-y. You know, kind of makes you think of like Outlander and stuff like that that's going on right now. So anyway, this is going to be a little repeat that we put at the focus on the bodice. And this is what the lace looks like as it comes. So you can see there's a lot of mesh in there, all of this here, that all gets cut out bit by bit. It takes hours and hours and hours, which is, you know, why wedding dresses, especially custom ones, are so expensive. But you know, you really get that beautiful finished quality, and you have somebody looking at it and working with it and using their aesthetic and their eye and things like that. So that's kind of what it looks like as it comes. And then there's different types of laces. So this one is pretty heavily embellished. You can see there's a lot of beadwork on there, all different types, sequins, all sorts of things. This is an Alençon lace. This comes from France. And you can see there's some cording on there that's really beautiful, all done by hand. There's some eyelashes here at the end, which is kind of a mark of good quality, if you will. So this one comes on a certain width, and what you can imagine is if you go in and you carefully cut along all those teeny little edges, you can see that there's a repeat here, and then there's also a repeat on the top. And so this would be something perfect for like a veil, the hem, maybe you can see like using it as part of like a sleeve would be really pretty. So that's another way that lace comes if you're not getting it pre-cut. Or if you're wanting to save some money and do your own, so that's an option. And then here's another type. This is actually for my dress, which I'm super excited about. I got this a couple months ago from Sunny on Etsy. I think her Instagram is Bridal Lace Supply. I'll double check that and post it. But yeah, so this is very three-dimensional. I go around, and if you can see, there's a little bit of like fraying here on the flowers. So again, I'll take that lighter trick and use that in a different context to kind of just help kind of check the edges there. So I'll just go in and take my lighter, and I always like start it away from the lace so that I can tell like how much room it needs, and you can just see staying kind of far away from it because you don't actually want it to melt so far that it gets black. But you can see like now that edge isn't going to go anywhere because we've melted it. So that's another little technique, a little trick. Yeah, and then like all of this I cut out, and you know, you can cut the flowers off too if you want to use them elsewhere or as a repeat or what have you. You just go in there and just cut that away. And I always buy more lace than what I need because you never know with piecework or where they cut the lace as far as where the repeat is. It's just good to have more than you need because you never know also like if you're going to reuse it or things like that. So yeah, that's just a little bit about lace for you guys. And I can't wait to post some more. I'll show you guys about some like layering techniques and things like that. But I hope that it gives you a little bit of an idea of what I do and how I do it, and that you enjoy.